tree.
I fell asleep beneath the flowers.
I fell asleep beneath the flowers
For a couple of hours.
for a couple of hours
On a beautiful day.
on a beautiful day.
Daydream.
Daydream.
I dream of you amid the
I
flowers.
dream of you amid the flowers
For a couple of hours.
for a couple of hours.
Such a beautiful day.
Such a beautiful.
Hey, what's up everybody? It's me, T, and welcome to my channel. So, my birthday passed not too long ago, and today I want to talk about a couple things that I learned while 23. And I know the title says 23 things that I learned by 23, or at 23, or whatever it's gonna be. But the gag is, if you know me, I like to talk. So I'm not gonna actually do 23 things. I'm just gonna, it's probably gonna be like 10 things. But I thought the title was cuter at 23, you know? You feel me? You feel me? All right. So let me get to the first thing. Where's my notebook? Okay, so some of these are gonna sound cliche, but I promise you it's actually something that cause you hear sayings all the time, but you don't really understand it. Like, you think you understand it until you actually understand it. So one of those things that I wrote is healing takes time, and it quite literally takes like time. Like, every day as you wake up, even if you wake up and you grow 1% every day, it's taking time, you know? So something that may really bother you today, a year down the line, you'll be able to go better, do better, better things. And let's see. Oh, okay. So I also learned about types of complainers, right? So I realized this with different type of friendships that I've had. Some people just like coworkers and everything, and even family. So there are two different types of complainers. There are people who want to complain just to rant and get it off their chest, and then the second type are people who want to like problem solve. And I realized a lot of communication errors that I would have is that I'm a problem solver. If you complain to me, I'm going to give you a solution. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, you poor baby. No, that's not me. That's not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you an answer to your problem. So if you come back to me next week and you're just like, oh, so happened again, I'm gonna be like, did you do what I said? And if you didn't, I'm gonna be like, well, that's why that's happening. But I realized that some people just like to, you know, they like to vent. They like to talk about things. It's kind of like how people are learning other people's love languages, and you learn that some people infer this some type of way, or they infer this type of action as love or something like that. Basically the same thing with complainers. So when somebody is complaining to you, I've seen a TikTok about it actually, and maybe you should ask them. You'd be like, am I gonna ask them, or do I really ask them? That's questionable, but now I know, you know, just knowing is better. So you could ask them like, do you want to vent, or are you looking for solutions? I'm gonna still give you solutions. I'm so sorry about it. Right now, a lesson that I'm learning is kind of, this isn't in the notes. This is just like something that happened like, yeah, literally yesterday. I was just like, I picked up a painting and it's on my wall. You can't see it. I'm not showing it to you because it's not the best. Actually, maybe I might show it to you, but I picked up a painting a canvas, and I was like, I'm just gonna paint it, and I don't care what it looks like. I'm just gonna do it just for the fun of it. And a lot of the time, a lot of people get wrapped up in trying to make everything perfect. And that leads to analysis paralysis, because you're like, I don't want to do it if it's not gonna be perfect, especially with videos, you know. So I'm really learning how to just like enjoy every moment. I would just like really enjoy the colors and every swipe of the brush and everything. Even now, I'm just speaking off the dome, off my heart, no script or anything, just whatever I'm feeling, you know, my little crocky crocs. But yeah, the picture, I would say both the pictures that I drew using the concept of just doing it to do it and not making it perfect, both of the pictures came out okay. They're not the best thing I've ever drawn, and they're not like the thing that I'm most proud of, but I think they actually mean more. They have more value to them, and I was able to put more thought into it because of that. And this is just a lesson that everyone should take. Do more. More action, less worrying. Take it from me. I really learned a couple of years ago. Well, it was a lesson learned. It was a lesson well learned. You're fogging my brain. You're fogging my brain.
I will get out if you need me to.
No, I'm thinking. It's okay to be vulnerable. Your confidence has to come internally and not externally. So basically, that's the difference between let me think of a celebrity. So Rihanna is definitely a person you could tell her confidence comes from inside, because no matter what anybody says, Rihanna's gonna be Rihanna. Whereas there's other celebrities who really, they feed off the emotion and the attention. And I can say honestly, I went through the confidence comes from external forces or external people and gratification and validation as well. This is something that I especially experienced when I was in college. I feel like people are just so supportive, and people are hyping me up and all that type of stuff. They'll also tear you down, but definitely it came to a point where I didn't have to rely on me from the inside, because there's gonna be people being like, I could see if I got a good grade on a test, or I could hear people compliment my performance whenever I performed, and I had this friend group who would always like hype me up and all these type of things. But eventually, when the time came around and it was just kind of me, it was like that internal confidence that I used to have, I didn't rely on anymore really. So I didn't want to be alone as much and do things and all that types of stuff. So that's why it's very important to learn how to do stuff by yourself and to really cultivate that confidence from within. So you're able to go and do whatever you want by yourself. You're able to go to concerts by yourself. You're able to try something new, and you don't need people to tell you if it's cool or not. I could tell you right now that I'm certainly at a point where if someone be like, oh, that's stupid, that's dumb, I'm like, and I respect your opinion, and I'm gonna keep doing it. And I feel like it's definitely a great place to be at, because that would lead us to our next point. But really enjoying what you enjoy and growing and being confident in yourself because you're proud of yourself means the world and way more than what other people have to say. Because at the end of the day, you're living for you, and those people will leave. Okay, they don't always leave, hopefully, because that sounds sad, but those people won't always be there, and then maybe they're not even rooting for your best intentions, because I'm not gonna say that was my case. Well, I'm not gonna not say it was my case, but maybe, and that's when people want to try something new, but they're afraid to try something new because they're caring about what their friends are gonna think and this and that. No. Delete it. You know who you are inside. You're confident, people are gonna rock with it. When you're good at something and you're confident, people are gonna rock with it. So don't worry about nothing else. So that was definitely a big tip. Let's see. The second one. This is the major major thing that I learned. I learned that no one is as perfect or as happy as they seem, and you're just projecting. AKA me. It was me. I was doing the projecting. I was definitely doing the projecting. So an example of this is maybe you think someone's like super pretty and you're like, oh, I wish I could be as pretty as her. I bet her life is so easy, pretty, privileged, blah, blah, blah. But you don't know this person's being followed at home and they don't feel safe. You know what I mean? It's the grass is greener on the other side type of vibe. So basically, even though this person has what I think I may want, that doesn't mean that it's gonna be perfect. Like, you're projecting. You think because this person has money, they're gonna have a perfect lifestyle. Because you have issues and you're projecting. That's it. That's the end of the story. But some people think because they're shorter, they want to be taller. They're like, oh, this would look better on me if I was tall. And then taller people be wanting to be shorter. So like I was saying, no one's perfect. There's no real perfect circumstance. You just have to appreciate what you have and work with it, because in reality you have everything you need, and what you're really doing is projecting your insecurities onto other people. There's no perfect world. Somebody has everything no, you are perfect. You have everything you need. Stop projecting all that wonderful stuff. Okay, tonight, keep trying new things, keep experiencing things, keep learning things, learn from your experiences, do it yourself and learn from it. I know that it's very important to experience things. If you want to know what it's like to live in Europe, go to Europe. Live in Europe. New York, go to New York. Take a vacation. If you want to know what these type of people are like or what this view looks like, because some things can't be described through voices of other people. Like the Grand Canyon, if you've never been there, you need to go there, because that is something that you quite literally cannot. I could tell you as many stories as I want, but until you experience that yourself, then you understand how beautiful it is. Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. It's also scary because they don't have it. Anyways, that's not important. The most important topic for me today is this next tip. Be yourself. And when I say this, I don't mean it in some type of fairy tale type thing. I feel like this is like another quote where you may understand what people are saying, but until you understand it, it does not click. I don't mean this as a fairy tale like I said, like a Disney, just be yourself and you'll know. Quite literally, be yourself. And this has impacted me, and I really didn't understand this until like now, till year 23, because I was always around like certain groups and certain demographics, and it wasn't that I wasn't myself, but I would quiet down that side of me or minimize that side of me. So basically, like a good example of it actually is anime. So I wouldn't really talk to people who watch anime, or like I wouldn't talk about anime much or anything like that. And because of that, now I don't have friends who watch anime. If I was myself, I would have people who would relate to me in these type of things. I wouldn't, I'm trying to think. Let me give you a bad example. I do love my friends, let me just say that. I love everyone I'm around, definitely. But I just think it's very important to embody every part of you and to not shy away. You shouldn't quiet or soften a part of you. Like, being yourself impacts your literal life and your literal future. It's not something where, I don't know, you meet Prince Charming or, no. I don't know, that's how Disney always portrays it. It literally impacts who you hang around, your growth, what you're able to do. If you're not yourself and you try to be somebody else, you're literally stunting yourself. You're not going to be happy. Yeah, it was either Robin Williams or Jim Carrey, and they say most people are not happy with themselves because they're not being their true selves. And that's quite literally what it is. Hold on one second. This background's kind of nifty. I don't know what I look like in the lens, but all in all, be yourself for you so you can get ahead, so you can do what you really like. Don't try to be a engineer. If you like drawing, be yourself. Don't try to hide a part of yourself because you're ashamed of it. No. Quite honestly, there's a niche out there for everyone. I've learned this too. There's literally something out there for every single person. You think you're alone, you're not. Somebody has thought that thought, they have done that thing, and you could either expand on it or you can pretend like it doesn't exist or you don't care about it. I just think you should enjoy what you enjoy, grow what you want to do, and just continue to do that, obviously. But let me wrap this up because Miss Ma'am in the corner is shaking. She's cold. It is cold out here.
I'll kind of catch a peek because I was too ashamed and embarrassed to be seen by the makeup, even though I so badly wanted to play with it. I will get discouraged by certain family members from pursuing those things because they were considered feminine. Like I used to cry out of how passionate I was about makeup and really wanting to have this career. And so I was actually in college studying to be a photographer when I just realized, you know what, like, I just really love makeup. I told myself, F it, go for it. Let's be a makeup artist. I feel very blessed to work with Doja because
I'm praying that the wind isn't making noise and the mic is doing its job. But all right, so our next topic is to be afraid of something and to do it anyways. So I really learned that I'm afraid of a lot, to be quite honest with you. Things tend to be more rewarding when you're afraid of things or you have to work harder to get them. So, you know, the concept is really that simple. Be afraid and do it anyways. That's literally called courage. And it's really something that I've learned. I applied it a lot. I honestly learned that I applied it a lot in my childhood. I used to be afraid of things and I was like, thanks, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Imagine you're really young and all the big kids are going on a roller coaster and you know it looks so fun, but you're so terrified. Just go on the ride anyways. Even when you're waiting in line and there's anticipation and you're trembling and you're shaking and you have anxiety and you don't know, you're almost ready to cry. But once you get onto the ride, and it kind of gets worse, let's be honest. That first slope, and then you're right at the tippity top. And then when you go down, you're elated. You're proud of yourself. You get off the ride. You feel like you're on top of the world. You could accomplish anything. So that is my lesson. I have another point, but I'm probably gonna do it out the cart. The cart scene is it's something else. My knees are prying the things open. My knees are scraping against the side. I don't know how I'm getting out. All right.
And you need all the products back.
I went skydiving. So then that night you're laying in your bed and you just keep, and you're terrified. You keep imagining over and over again jumping out of an airplane and you can't figure out why you would do that. So you get there and then you have this safety brief. And you're standing there, and the guys would say, well, if the chute doesn't open, what's going to happen is well, why the hell, what could happen? That the chute wouldn't open, right? Everything's normal. So you fly, and you go up to 14,000 feet, and you notice there's a light. It's red, and it's yellow and green, right? So right now, the light's red. So then you start thinking, at some point, the light's going to go green, but you don't know what's going to happen, right? And you wait, and it goes yellow, and the light goes green, and somebody opens the door, and in that moment, you realize you've never been in a freaking airplane with the door open. Terror, 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 right? So you go, and then, if you were smart, you sat in the back, so you don't go first, right? And then people start going out of the airplane, and you go, and the guy walks you up to the end of the thing, and you're standing and your toes are on the edge and you're looking out down to death. and they say, on 3. And they say, 1, 2, and he pushes you on 2 because people grab on 3, right? Right? And you go, and you fall out of the airplane, and in 1 second, you realize that it's the most blissful experience of your life. You're flying. The lesson for me was, why were you scared in your bed the night before? What do you need that fear for?
All right, rapid fire. 1, if you don't work on your dreams, they remain just that, dreams. Make a move. Number 2, if you're starting something new, you're gonna suck at it. If you don't suck at it, you should have started it earlier. Number 3, stand up for yourself. Learn to stand up for yourself. And number 4 is screw FOMO.
All right, so that brings us to my last and final tip, and that is to always, always, always be grateful. Even if you're working towards your dreams, you don't have to settle in gratitude and stop working on whatever you want. Just remain grateful and have gratitude along with your journey. No matter what you're doing, stay grateful. That's literally that goes hand in hand with happiness. So if you're searching for happiness, you're searching on how to be more grateful. So thank you for watching this whole long video. I know there was a bunch of random parts, but if you watched all of it, I really appreciate you. You can leave a comment on something else that you learned this year or all that good stuff. And that's the end. Bye.